Hello, hello. How is everybody? Happy Thursday. Thank you for holding off for a couple minutes. Let me see. I can see comments if I need to. So yeah, we did have the guy just left for our garage door. So just a wonderful, wonderful man that came out to do both of our garage doors and make sure that they were functioning properly. We had a roller that was popping out. Now it's popping back in, so that's good. So let's talk about your thoughts, right? So last week we talked about your thoughts and talked about what you do when you start to become aware of your thoughts and some of the questions to ask. So the questions were, is this true? Is what I'm thinking actually true? Because a lot of times it's not the full truth or the actual truth, right? And then the other question to ask was why? Why am I thinking this thought? So I kind of wanted to go into how thoughts are just thoughts. There are no bad thoughts. There's no good thoughts. There's no right thoughts. There's no wrong thoughts. They're just thoughts. And you get to decide what you do with those. And you get to decide how you want to think about the things that happen in life, and then decide how you're going to feel about those things and act based off those thoughts. So just kind of very interesting. So when we're talking about your health and the thoughts you're having about your health, right, we want to kind of look at some of those and kind of go through that process. So we also, because our thoughts are not good or bad or right or wrong, we also don't want to be judging our thoughts. It's normal to have thoughts that are a whole range of things and that give us a whole range of emotions, negative and positive emotions. So we want to make sure that we're looking at all of that and making decisions about it from a non-judgmental way. So we don't want to decide that a thought is bad or good. We want to, be neutral with our thoughts and decide, what about this thought is serving me? So let's kind of go through that process. So I wrote down a couple of thoughts that we could probably go through, and just be curious about the thought. So some common thoughts that have kind of been put into our heads from, things that have happened, especially in the United States, and how people have advertised things. So breakfast is the most important meal of the day, right? So that's something that we've been told, is that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But if we kind of look at that as to, is it true? Well, breaking your fast is an important part of the day. Everyone does it. But our idea of what breakfast is oftentimes means something with having it before we go to school or before work. We often break our fast early in the day. But then if we say, well, why do we say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Well, do you know why? Do you know why you think that it is? Or was it just something that was told to you as a kid that you had to eat your breakfast, that it was important? Whereas your parents may have had great reasons for that, right? They didn't want you to go to school hungry, knowing that you would not be able to eat anything until the specified lunchtime. And yes, those routines are a good routine to start. But as adults, we get to look at, when am I actually hungry? So then the thought, breakfast is an important part of the day, is something where you can decide, does that thought serve me if that's something that I believe? So some people don't break their fast until noon. Some people don't break their fast until 2. Some people don't break their fast until 6. So just kind of look at, are you actually hungry at the time of day that you're breaking your fast? And so then does the thought of breakfast is an important part of the day, is it actually serving you to think that if you're not actually hungry when you typically have breakfast? So just something to think about, something to consider. Maybe there's something else that you could a different time of day when you would actually become hungry, that you would want to break your fast. And you can kind of start to coordinate that with, when is my break? Do I have a morning break? Or is it not until lunch that I would be hungry? Something to consider. Hold on just a second. I have a little bit of a cold. Okay, so next, something like, that parties are not fun without food and drinks. So again, is it true? So go and think back to probably when you were in college. Did you go to a club or something like that, or go to a bar and the drinks were expensive and you didn't have any money? Did you still have fun when you could only buy one drink? Did you still have fun when you couldn't buy any food? So just something to consider. Is it actually true that parties are no fun if you don't have food and drinks? Is it true? And why are you thinking that? A lot of the why is also because that's what we've been taught, is that we celebrate, we have fun when there's food and drinks there. So then, is it serving you? If you are, wanting to do something for your health that involves, drinking less alcohol or eating less food, then can you have fun still going out with people without having that food or those drinks? So just, does it serve you? And you may say, I still want to have a drink when I go out. And that is fine, because you're an adult and you get to make those choices for yourself, right? But you also get to make those decisions about whether or not something's serving you. Is the service of having it what you're going to do by getting to have that drink, or choosing to have that drink, something that is important for your life, compared to not having it and still having fun? Or can you mix them up? Sometimes I do have a drink when I go out and sometimes I don't. Just, something else to consider, right? So diets are painful, or they suck, right? So the idea of dieting, is it true that they always suck? Well, there are many, many people out in the world that eat a specific way and they are perfectly happy eating the way they eat. And it's not painful. It's not a sucky thing for them. So is your idea, the why is, why do diets suck for you? Well, you've done something that you've called a diet, and then you have had pain while doing it because it was restrictive, or it caused headaches, or you felt very weak. So something like that, you'd be like, oh, that's why diets suck. But in actuality, it's how you're identifying something. So can you have a lifestyle of eating? You can even change the words, right? That shows you that that doesn't serve you. Because then anytime you say something, or someone calls something a diet instead of a lifestyle of eating, then you might, get some nervousness system, impacts, because your belief that diets are painful, or that diets suck. So does it serve you to identify diets in that way? Again, we're just working with thoughts, working with your thoughts. What are the thoughts you're thinking? Now that you have awareness of them, that's awesome. That can help you to decide then if you want to continue the thoughts as you have them, or if you'd like to decide to just say, that's just not a thought I don't need anymore. Or if you want to decide, maybe I need to change that thought. So let's go into something else, like, I'm sad about losing my dog. So you look at that, is it true that you would be sad about losing your dog? Well, what's the loss, right? So did your dog run away and now you want to be sad so that you can then get into action to find your dog? Did your dog pass away? And so you want to be sad because you're grieving, right? So look at that and then go, okay, so why would I be sad? Well, because it was, an animal that I cherished and that I loved. So that's why I'd be sad. That's why I would grieve. And then you look at, does it serve me? Well, yes. You may want to grieve the loss of that animal. I wanted to throw that one in there so you can see that it goes the other way, right? There are times when your thoughts do serve you And you want to say, yes, that thought serves me. I do want to grieve for the loss of that animal. So something like that, you want to become aware that what you're thinking, decide why you're thinking it, and then choose whether or not you are served by that thought. And if that serves you, so it can be serving you in positive ways and in negative ways. Is it serving you in a way that helps you towards the goals that you want, helps you towards what you're trying to do in your life, right? And it's neutral either way, right? It can serve you in a way that you don't want and you still want to do it. And that is fine because you're an adult and you get to make that choice. It might be serving you in a helpful way towards the goal that you want. And that's, that's fine as well, because that's your choice as an adult to decide if you want to keep those thoughts that serve you. The understanding of those thoughts are what's helping you to choose to feel certain ways and then take actions in certain directions. So you may decide, even though it serves you to grieve about your dog, to decide that calling yourself sad is serving you for a certain period of time. And then maybe you change that to something else, to I'm celebrating the time that I had with my dog. And then maybe that serves you while you're in that grieving process, right? And it allows you to take additional actions that are more helpful and serving to you during that time of grief. So you can change any of these in any way to help serve you for what your purpose is, and you get to choose. Your thoughts are your choice. You get to decide, once you're aware of them, how you want to use them and keep them in your life. So I hope this was helpful for today, and using not just, is it true about my thoughts, and why am I thinking the thoughts that I'm thinking, but also how does it serve me? Is it serving me in a way that I want it to serve me? And if not, can I do something about it? So just like I kind of did with the dog one, next week we will talk about kind of adding ands and buts to our thoughts to then help us kind of choose to bridge them to something else that you think will better serve you. Again, though, even those thoughts, right? Those are just a choice. Everything is a choice for you. So I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day, and I will be back on again next week. And, leave any comments that you have, any questions you have, or you can, email me those as well. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.